Welcome, I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Desmonds
Donders.
Hello, and welcome to another Wednesday Waffle. It's been an interesting time since I last recorded one of these. I've got lots to tell you. I've got lots to tell you about what's coming up. I've got to tell you what's been up with us, and a little anecdote about when we were away on our 10-day Donder. So first, let's get what's coming up. Well, tonight, 5 hours after this goes out, there's a Banners collab, and it's helpful tips for newcomers, and have a little bit of a laugh with this one. Well worth a watch. And it's probably not as long as this video. On Friday, Lindsay brings up that thorny subject of litter as we move from Findlater to Port Gordon. And then next week, this is how close we got. Next week we start with videos from our trip away. And we start with a video entitled Black Tights and Skimpy Knickers. You probably wouldn't guess that we were at the Clutie Well on Lochie. Then Wednesday there will be another one of these, and I don't know what I'll be talking about next week. And then next Friday, looking west from Loch Ashulin, and we will be at that stage we were planning whether we were going to head west or go a different direction. It was all weather dependent. So that's a good few videos coming up before next week, before a week on Friday. And we had a great time when we were away. Seems everybody else must have been away as well, because we didn't get many views last week. But yeah, we had a great time. We weren't exactly on plan A, but it was mostly plan A. And the reason for that was we spent more time at some places than we intended. And then we spent less time than we intended at another place. And yeah, that was it. But we had a good time. We had reasonable weather. We had a little bit of rain and it was cold, but it was February, March in Scotland. What do you expect? But a lot of the time we had bright sunshine, and the solar panels will work overtime. They kept the batteries topped up, fully charged, to the point where we reverted not to using power banks first, but to just plugging into the van. That's how good the weather was last week while we were away. And looking outside right at this minute, it's looking that good right now. I guess by the time we go away again, it'll be pouring with rain or 6 feet of snow or something. But you have to put up with that living up here. Okay. When the subject of motorhomes and parking and what have you comes up, one of the things that often comes up, in fact not often, always comes up, is shopping in the area, spending your money in the area. So we tend to. We'd be taking off for a couple of days in the van and off we go, and Lindsay shopped at a few places for food and what have you while we were away. Not just the big supermarkets in Inverness, but what was it? It's not a Spar, it's just a village store. And another small chain of mini supermarkets, franchise I suppose it'll be, out on the west coast, and so on and so forth. But it was that mini market, mini supermarket, I don't know what you would call it, independent chain, part of not a huge giant type place, this car park where we saw something that really amused us about the locals and their shopping habit. Because it's the locals, isn't it, that keep telling us to shop local, keep their shops in business. Well, in that case, why was there a Morrison's van parked on this car park on the west coast of Scotland, the car park of a rival supermarket? Well, they're not really a rival, they're not big enough to be a rival. But they were there, and the locals drove up with their cars and got their Morrison's shopping from the... Now, we worked out it was 80 to 100 miles to the nearest Morrison's. Now, Morrison's are obviously making a pretty penny out of it. But I'm guessing the local shops aren't, because the locals are buying from Morrison's. What's that? What's that mean? What's that for? Does that mean that the shops are just for the tourists? I think not. So it's practice what you preach, please. Locals. Use your local shops. And on a little bit tongue-in-cheek, obviously, but it makes you think, if I can't do that, why do the locals think they can do it and then preach to us because we don't use their shops? By the way, the bacon brie and cranberry panini that was bought while we were sat in that car park was gorgeous. Yeah, I really did just find that funny. And on a serious point, it's something we should perhaps all do, is support our local businesses. I've just had a bad experience online. Maybe talk about that next week. It's anyway, as I say, to summarise, we've got all those videos coming up. We've had a great time while we're away, and we've got videos of that coming up very, very shortly. And not only that, we're off again as normal. Hope you enjoyed the waffle. Here's some drone footage. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Desmonds Donders. And remember, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and hopefully we'll see you next time.